We begin with breaking news at 11. A horrible smell leads police to a dead body inside a stone pillar at a supermarket.
CBS 2's Jeff Nguyen is live now at a store in Lancaster at West Avenue K and Sierra Highway. Jeff?
Well, firefighters pulled that body out of the column behind us about an hour ago. Let me step aside to give you some context. The coroner's office says that there is hollow space there. It's about 9 by 17, and they believe that the man slid down a shaft because when they found him, he was on both of his feet with one of his arms trapped behind his head. Tonight, investigators focused their attention on this column at Winco Foods in Lancaster after a body was found inside the column. Earlier, customers were turned away after the store closed its door following the deadly discovery.
My concern was everybody in the store okay.
The person who died is not a store employee. The LA County Sheriff's Department says the store manager noticed a strong smell this morning, which he thought was a water leak. A plumber was called to check, and a couple of the bricks were broken to look inside.
When they did that, they looked down, they could see a shoe and a leg down there at the bottom of the column, inside the column.
This comes after deputies tried to pull over the driver of this truck on Monday during a traffic stop. Henry Oliver says he saw the suspect running into the store after a short chase.
He got out the car, ran in, ran up the steps where the managers be at, and somehow got on the roof, and last I heard, he got away.
The Sheriff's Department says deputies lost a suspect after he got on the roof, and they never saw him come out.
We're thinking this possibly could be that individual.
Detectives say there's an access door at the top of the roof, which also goes to the front fascia of the store.
He may have gotten inside there and somehow gotten down the column trying to hide from the deputies and then couldn't get out.
For shoppers like Constance Fullwood, it was a relief to know that none of the store workers she considers friends is involved.
It's very emotional because I shop here at least 4 times a month.
And because of the decomposition, a hazardous material crew is working on the cleanup right now. The Sheriff's Department will only say that the man pulled out was, or the body pulled out was that of a man, and it will be up to the coroner's office to positively ID that person. We are reporting live in Lancaster. Jeff Nguyen, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Jeff. Firefighters are making some progress in the Holy Fire in the Inland Empire, but hot weather this weekend could change that. Some evacuation orders were lifted today, but more than 21,000 people are still out of their homes. The fire has burned more than 22,000 acres, and tonight it's just 36% contained.
CBS 2's Lori Perez is live in Corona, where there was a community meeting tonight. Lori.
Yes, and at that community meeting, neighbors learned about the progress that crews have made. But as we look behind me, you can see into the Cleveland National Forest just how much of the Holy Fire is still going strong. There is a ways to go before things get back to normal. Every night now for 6 nights, the Holy Fire has put on a sunset show, lighting up the mountains of Cleveland National Forest, perilously close to homes and businesses and communities around Lake Elsinore. As the wildfire has spread, so have concerns. The flames way too close for comfort. As of Saturday night, more than 2,700 homes remained under mandatory evacuation, down from 11,000. Rachel Gardia has not had to leave her Wild Rose home, but her Sycamore Creek restaurant has been closed since Wednesday. At a community meeting Saturday, she got mixed news about when both will be in the clear.
Basically, they said hopefully 24 hours for Sycamore Creek, but don't hold them to it. And my area, pack up your stuff and be ready in the next couple of days in case they need to evacuate.
Maria Abundez has special worries. A lung cancer patient, she's anxious about the ash and haze that continue to rain on the area. Saturday, health officials urged neighbors to wear masks, long sleeves, and pants to sweep up and bag ash. The Red Cross handed out masks and garbage bags to a steady line of homeowners like Abundez who are eager for information and advice on what to do.
Keep checking social media, the news, and neighbors, and just keep on checking.
Local schools coated with ash will have a lot of cleanup too. The first day has already been postponed for more than 20 area schools over concerns about readiness and air quality. Some students know as long as they can see the Holy Fire from the backyard, they won't be hitting the books just yet.
It's scary. It looks like lava.
And as long as this fire keeps burning, health experts are advising people to limit their time outside. As one doctor at tonight's meeting put it, lots of things have burned that you probably don't want to be breathing in. We are live in Corona tonight. I'm Lori Perez, CBS 2 News.
Incredible pictures out there. Thank you, Lori. A family speaks out about the man involved in this deadly joyride over Seattle aboard a stolen passenger plane.
CBS 2's Adriana Weingold joins us with the latest. Adriana.
Well, investigators are trying to piece together the actions and motives of Richard Russell, the man they say stole an empty passenger airplane from SeaTac Airport. He ended a series of daring maneuvers when he crashed into a sparsely populated island in the Puget Sound. This amateur video, taken in Washington State Friday night, shows how the Horizon Air turboprop plane known as a Q400 inverts in midair, then drops down. It nearly hits the water. The plane was stolen around 8 p.m., then piloted by a Horizon Airlines employee, Richard Russell, whose job should have kept him on the ground. Brad Tilden is CEO of Alaska Air Group.
He worked his shift yesterday. We believe he was in uniform. His job is to be around airplanes.
Russell was a ground service agent. He had worked for the airline for 3.5 years and had full security clearance. Even without a pilot's license, he pulled off hair-raising maneuvers in the air. As the plane flew erratically, an air traffic controller referred to the man flying the plane as Rich.
Damn it, Andrew! People's lives are at stake here.
Now, Rich, don't say stuff like that.
No, I told you I don't want to hear no one.
Within minutes, 2 F-15 military fighter jets scrambled and intercepted the plane. About an hour after it was stolen, the saga ended in a fiery crash. Russell was known by the nickname Bebo. He posted several videos to YouTube proclaiming his love for his job.
Hi, I'm Bebo Russell, and I'm a ground service agent.
Now family and friends are shocked and heartbroken.
It may seem difficult for those watching at home to believe, but Bebo was a warm, compassionate man. He was a faithful husband, a loving son, and a good friend.
The brazen act has raised serious security concerns. The FBI is now handling the investigation. Back to you.
Thank you, Adriana. Today, President Trump had only one thing to say about his former senior advisor, Omarosa Manigault Newman, and her book on her time in the White House.
Lowlife. She's a lowlife.
In her book, Unhinged, she paints Trump as self-absorbed, misogynistic, and insecure. She claims he used racial slurs on the set of The Apprentice. She was a contestant on the show. Omarosa says she later concluded he's a racist and a bigot. Her book comes out Tuesday. The White House already says the book is riddled with lies and false accusations.
And power is back on in San Marino tonight after an outage. A large oak tree toppled onto some power lines on Roanoke Road, knocking out electricity to thousands of neighbors. A homeowner said it appears as if the tree was too top heavy and simply collapsed. No one was hurt by the downed tree.
A mother arrested and accused of leaving her children in a hot car. Coming up, Good Samaritans come to the rescue. Markina.
We've got more heat, humidity, and storms in the forecast. And, of course, I've got the details for you coming up.
Plus, a mountain lion in the living room terrorizing a family pet.
And why Elon Musk could be heading to court.